Kodak, Ban Yahweh, Ban Yasharab.
Kodak Ban Yahweh, Ban Yashab.
Yahweh Hashem Yashar Rakatah.
Yahweh Ba'ashem Yashab Rakatah.
La Yashar.
Amadu, which means to stand. Wapanya Hakwadam and face the east. The east will be this way right here. We're going to do the Lord's Prayer in the Hebrew. The Lord's Prayer in the Hebrew. Abanawa. Shabbat Shemayim. Kodash. Hayah. Shamka. Yahweh. Malakaka. Taba'ah. Ratazaka. Hayah. Aisha. Barataza. Kawa. Hayah. Bashamayim. Thundanawa. Lakam. Yawam. Wasalakanawa. Kabawafnawa. Kasalaknawa. Kabawafyanawa. Wala'a. Tabaya'anawa. Balasayawan. Abal. Kawashaynawa. Mayan. Rai. Kaya. Laka. Kamalakwa. Waha'ala. Watapara. La'awalamyam. Aman. In the English. Our Father. Which art in heaven. Hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come. Thy will be done. In earth. As it is in heaven. Give us this day. Our daily bread. And forgive us our debts. As we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation. But deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom. And the power. And the glory. Forever. So be it. Hakak, the power in the Hebrew. Yahweh. Ba'ashem Yahweh Shah. Babu Kwasha. Thunder Nawa. Hakak. Larapa'ah. Hamakala. Wakal Marawa. Hakak. Latahar. Hamatu Zarayim. Hakak. Lahakuyam. Hamakyam. Hakak. Arahawa. Hatama'ala. Lagarashan. Ba'ashem Yahweh Shah. The water Aman. In the English. Yahweh. In the name of Yahweh. Please give us the power. The power to heal. All manner of sickness. And all manner of disease. The power to cleanse the leprous. The power to raise the dead. The power against unclean spirits. To cast them out. In the name of Yahweh. Thank you. So be it. Psalms 121 in the Hebrew. Asha. Ayanya. All Hoharya. Ma'ayan. Yaba'a. Aizorya. Ma'aim. Yahweh. Aisha. Shemaya. Wa'arataza. Al Yathan. Lamawat. Regalka. Al Yanawam. Shemorka. Hana. La'a. Yanawam. Wala'a. Yanashan. Shawamor. Yasha'ala. Yahweh. Shemorka. Yahweh. Kazalka. Al Ya. Yamyanka. Yawamam. Hashemat. La'a. Yakaka. Wayarak. Bailayala. Yahweh. Yashemorka. Makarai. Yashamor. Napashka. Yahweh. Yashamor. Kazahafta. Gabawa'aka. Ma'ita. Lai. Awalam. Aman. In the English, I will lift up mine eyes into the hills.
I will lift up my eyes unto the
From
hills.
which cometh my help?
From which cometh my
My
help?
help cometh from Yahweh,
My help cometh from
which
Yahweh,
made heaven and earth.
which made heaven and
He
earth.
will not suffer thy foot to be moved.
He would not suffer thy foot to be
He
moved.
that keepeth thee
He that keepeth
will not slumber.
will not slumber.
Behold,
Behold,
he that keepeth Israel
he that keepeth Israel
shall neither slumber nor sleep.
shall neither slumber nor sleep.
Yahweh is thy keeper.
Yahweh is thy keeper.
Yahweh is thy shade upon thy right hand.
Yahweh is thy shade upon their right
The
hand.
sun shall not smite thee by day,
The sun shall not smite thee by day,
nor the moon by night.
nor the moon by night.
Yahweh shall preserve thee
Yahweh shall preserve
from
thee
all evil.
from all evil.
He shall preserve thy soul.
He shall preserve thy soul.
Yahweh shall preserve thy going out
Yahweh shall preserve thy going out
and thy coming
and
in.
thy coming
From
in.
this time
From
forth,
this time forth,
even forevermore,
even forevermore.
so be it.
So be it.
Psalms 83 in the Hebrew. Alahaya.
Alahai.
Al damaya laka.
Al dalaya maka.
Al damaya. You were close. Al damaya laka.
Al damaya laka.
Al tahorash.
Al tacharat.
Wa al tashakwat.
Wa al dashakwa.
Al kayahana.
Kayahana.
Awayab yaka.
Al yabyaka.
Yahama yawan.
Yahaman yawan.
Wama shanayaka.
Wama shayabaka.
Nasha'awa.
Nasha'aw.
Ra'ash.
Ra'ash.
Al aimaka.
Al amaka.
Ya ayrayamwa.
Ya ayyamra.
Sawa.
Sawa.
Wayaka ya ay tazawa.
When you think your eye tells a what?
Al tazapawanyaka.
Out as a wayabaka.
Al tazapawanyaka.
Out as a pawanyaka.
Amorwa.
Amor.
Lakawa.
Cow.
Wanakakadam.
Little cock with it.
Magoya.
Magor.
Wala'a.
Well, I.
Yazakar.
Yes, of course.
From Yasha'ala.
Show me your shot.
Ayvad.
I rock.
Kaya.
Taya.
Now what I tazawa.
Now your eye tells a what?
La.
La.
Yakadwa.
Lakara.
Auyaka.
Awi.
Barya.
Varia.
Yakorakwa.
Yakarak.
Ahoya.
Ahoy.
Adawan.
Adawa.
Wayashama ilayam.
What woman should your eye look?
Mawa'aba.
Mother out.
Wahagoya.
With her girl.
Gabor.
The boy.
I'm a wine.
Woman your arm.
What I'm a lock.
Woman are your lock.
It's like what I'm a lock.
What I'm a lock.
Palashat.
Palashat.
I'm the Shabya.
I'm in your shop.
Hazawar.
Tazawar.
Gam Ashawar.
Gum Ashawar.
Nalawa.
Nalawa.
Imam.
Amar.
Hayawa.
Hayo.
Zavawai.
Zabawai.
Labanya Lawat.
Labanyo Lawat.
Salat.
Salat.
Aisha Laham.
Ashalaham.
Kamadyan.
Kamanya.
Kasaya Sara'a.
Kasaya Samaria.
Kayabyan.
Kawat. Kayabyo.
Banakhaw.
Banakaw.
Koyashwan.
Kayawash.
Nashamadwa.
Nasharatwa.
Ba'ayan Da'ara.
Bayaan Yam the Rock.
Hayawa.
Kayawa.
It's like a Hayawa.
Hayawa.
Daman.
Daman.
La Adama.
Lajadama.
Shayatamwa.
Shigatoma.
Narayamawa.
Naya out number one.
Ka'aira.
Kayara.
Like it can. Ka'aira.
Kayara.
Wakaza'aba.
Wakazaba.
Wakazabak.
Wakazaba.
Wakazalmanai.
Wakazazalman.
Cow.
Cow.
Nasayakamwa.
Nasa Yakamwa.
Ashore.
Ashore.
Amorwa.
Amor.
Nayarasha.
Naya Rasha.
Lanawa.
Lenoa.
Na'awa.
Naawa.
Alahaya.
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 Shayatamwa.
Shigathoma.
Kagalgala.
Kagalia.
Kakwash.
Kakwa.
Lapanya Raka.
Lapanya Rakha.
Ka'ash.
Ka'ai.
Taba Iber ya Iber.
So your Ivan Bride.
Wakalahaba.
Wakalai.
Talahat.
So you are.
Harya.
Hard.
Khan.
Come.
Taradatma.
So your Dakra.
Basa Iberka.
Basa Irica.
Wabasa Wapaka.
Wabasa Rapaka.
Taba Halam.
Taba Halam.
Mala'a.
Mala.
Hanyaham.
Hanya.
Walawan.
Walawan.
Waya Bakwashwa.
Waya Bakwashwa.
Shamka.
Shamka.
Yahawa.
Yahawa.
Yabashwa.
Yabashwa.
Waya like it. Waya Bahalwa.
Waya Bahawa.
Aya Ay.
Aya.
Waya Kaparwa.
Waya Kapora.
Waya Abadwa.
Waya Abadwa.
Al Yawan.
Aya one.
Al.
Ah.
Al.
Ka.
Arataza.
Ratiza.
Aman.
Amon.
In the English. Keep not thy silence, O Yahweh.
Keep not thy silence, O Yahweh.
Hold not thy peace.
Hold not thy peace.
And be not still, O Yahweh.
And be not thy still, O Yahweh.
For lo,
Thy
thine enemies make a tumult.
Thy enemies make a tumult.
And they that hate thee,
And they that hate
have lifted up their head.
have lifted up their head.
They have taken crafty counsel against thy people.
They have taken crafty counsel against thy
And
people.
consulted against thy hidden ones.
And consulted against thy hidden ones.
They have said,
They have said,
Come, let us cut them off from being a nation.
let them cut this off from being a nation.
That the name of
That
Israel
the name of Israel
may be no more in remembrance.
maybe no more am I remembering.
For they have consulted together with one consent.
For they have consulted together with one consent.
They are confederate against thee.
They are confederate against
The
thee.
tabernacles of Edom,
Tabernacles of
and
Edom,
the Ishmaelites,
and the
of
Ishmaelites,
Moab,
of Moab,
and the Hagarenes,
and the Hagarenes,
the Baal, and Ammon,
and
and Amalek,
and
the
Amalek,
Philistines,
the Philistines,
with inhabitants of Tyre.
with the inhabitants of Tyre.
Asher also is joined with them.
Asher also is joined with
They
them.
have opened the children of Lot.
They have opened the children of Lot.
Salah,
Salah,
do unto them,
do unto them,
as unto the Midianites,
as unto the
as
Midianites,
to Sisera,
as unto
as
Sisera,
to Jabin,
as unto Jabin,
at the brook of
the
Kasai,
brook of Kasai,
which perished at Endor.
was perished in North.
They became as dung for the earth.
They became as dung for the earth.
Make their nobles like Oreb,
Make their nobles like a
and
ram,
like Zeeb,
like Zeb,
Yea,
and
all their princes,
all their princes,
as Zabah,
and
and
Sabbath,
as Amunah,
and Zamuna,
who said,
who said,
let us take to
let
ourselves
us take to ourselves
the house of Yahweh in possession.
the house of Yahweh of possession.
Oh my power,
Oh my power,
make them like a wheel,
make them like a
as
wheel,
the stubble before the wind,
as it stubble before the
as
wind,
the fire burneth for wood,
as the fire burner from wood,
and as the flame setteth the mountains on fire.
as a flame set the mountain on
So
fire.
persecute them with thy tempest,
So persecute them with thy
and make them afraid with thy
and
sword.
make them afraid with thy
Fill
sword.
their faces with shade,
Fill their faces with
that
shame,
they may seek thy name.
that they may seek thy
O
name.
Yahweh,
O Yahweh,
let them be confounded
let them be confounded
and troubled forever.
and troubled forever.
Yea,
Yea,
let them be put to shame
let them be put to shame
and perish,
and perish,
that men may know
that men may
that
know
thou,
that thou,
whose name alone,
whose name alone,
is Yahweh,
is Yahweh,
art the Most High,
like the Most High,
over all the earth.
above the whole earth.
So be it.
Oh, so be it.
Let's get the blessings in the Hebrew. Barakatah Yahweh,
Barakatah Yahweh,
wa Yahweh
wa
Shai,
Yahweh Shah,
wa Mayaka'ala,
wa Mayaka'ala,
wa Alahayim,
wa Lalahai,
Matazab Ya'ah,
Matazah Yahah,
Alawat Yahana,
Alawat Yahana,
Ha Alawatyim,
Ha Alawatyam,
Ha Saranyim,
Ha Saranyam,
Ha Kutazayanyim,
Ha Kudazumyam,
Ha Kayayalyim,
How could you yell you?
wa Ha Agwakyim,
When you're up walking,
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai,
Hashem Yahushua,
the water of mud.
water I'm on.
In the English, bless you Yahweh,
Bless you, Yahweh,
and Yahweh Shai,
and Yahushua,
and Michael,
and Michael,
and the
and the
angels,
angels,
commanding,
commanding,
General Yahana,
General Yahana,
the general,
the general,
the captain,
the captain,
the officer,
the officer,
the
the
troopers,
troopers,
and the sisters,
and the sisters,
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
in the name of Yahweh
in the
Shai,
name of Yahushua,
thank you,
so be it, so be it.
Let's get blessed Israel in the Hebrew. Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai,
Hashem Yahushua,
Barak Lanawa,
Barak
Lo
Lanawa,
Yasha'ala,
Yahushua,
Wahab Bayaf Saparya,
Bayah,
like it, Wahab Bayaf Saparya,
Wahab, Bayah, Shapar,
Barak,
Barak,
Rabah,
Rapah,
Hagun,
Magun,
Hagun,
Hagun,
Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai,
Hashem Yahushua,
the water of
the
mud.
water I'm
What
on.
we just said in the English is me, Yahweh, in the name of Yahweh Shai, bless us and Israel and the school. Bless, heal, shield, protect our loved ones. In the name of Yahweh Shai, thank you, so be it. Sar, which means to turn. Yeshavia, which means everyone can now be seated. All right, Shalom Israel with the Israelite School, Universal Practical Knowledge. All right, started 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under command of General Yahana. We are not affiliated with any other Israelite group, all right, nor any other Christian organization. All right, so tonight's, not tonight's class, Salakia. So this is the Sabbath service, something very important for Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, all right, to attend, all right? To attend, the Sabbath service teaches you, all right, teaches us our culture, our heritage, how to speak our language. Like the Sabbath service was for the nation of Israel to come together and to learn and to hold on to the traditions that the Lord passed down to us. Like that's the spirit behind the Sabbath service. That's why it's so important. All right. That's why it's so important. All right. So we're going to be in Judges. All right. We're going to be in the book of Judges. All right. Chapter 2. And we're going to start at verse 15. I'm going to get it in Hebrew. All right. If you guys have any questions, type it into the live chat as well. All right. Or you can also text the school. Let's see. What Let me see. Step out the back. Real quick. Come. All right. So let's get Judges chapter 2 in the Hebrew. Let me get it. All right. Also, don't forget to sign in and check in. Make sure you put your name, city, and state within the live chat. All right. For attendance. All right. For attendance. You want to make sure you put that into the live chat for attendance. All right. Let's see. Look at Judges chapter 2. We're going to start at verse 15 in the Hebrew. All right. Judges chapter 2, verse 15 in the Hebrew. Bakar Ashar, Yatazawa, Yad, Yahweh, Hayathab, Bama, Lara'ai, Ka'ashar, Dabar, Yahweh, Waka Ashar, Nashabai, Yahweh, Laham, Wayatazar, Laham, Ma'ad, verse 16, Wayakwam, Yahweh, Shapatyam. That's judges, by the way. Shapat is how you say judge. Shapatyam is judges, all right? Shapatyam. Wayahawashayawam. Like here. Wayawashayayawam. All right? Mayad. Shasayaha. It's like here. Shasayaham. Verse 17. Wagam al Shapat Yaham La'a Shemaiwa Kaya Ainwa Achar. It's like Acharya Alahayam Acharya Wayashatak Shayatacharwa Laham Sarawa Mahar Man Hadarak Ashar Halakwa Abahma, Lashamai, Matazawa, Yahweh La'a Aishawa Khan. Verse 18. Wakaya, Hakoyam, like a Hakoyam, Yahweh Laham, Shapatyam, Wahaya, Yahweh Aim, Hashapat, Wahaya, like it, Wahawayash, like it, Wahawashaya, Yasha'aim, Mayad, Ayab Yaham, like Ayab Yaham, Kal, Yamya, Hashapat, Kaya, Yanakam, Yahweh, Mana Akwatam, that's Kwa, like Mana Akwatma, Mapanya, Lachatazaya, like it, Lachatazayaham, what a chak, what a chak Yaham. Verse 19. Wayahaya, Bamawat, Hashapat, Yashabwa, Wahashakha, like it. Wayashakayatwa, Ma'abawatma, Lalaka, Acharya, Alahayam, Acharya, La'ibadma, Walahathat, like it. Walahashakha, like it. Shathakwa, Laham La'a, Hapayal, like a Hapayalwa, Mama Ayla, like it, Ma'al Yaham, Wabadar, like it, Wamadarak Ma, Hakusha. All right, there we go. The stubborn way. There's another meaning of Kusha. All right, Kusha means to be hard, cruel, severe. All right, also meaning stubborn, but at the same time meaning fierce, intense, environment. The names that we're given, we grow into the names that we're given to as well. That's very spiritual. All right? That's very spiritual. Verse 20, Wayachar at Yahweh, Baya Sha'ala, Waya Amar, Ya'ain Ashar, Ibarwa, Wagayot, it's like it, Wagoya, Hazah, Barayahya, Ashar, Tazawayahya, Abawathma, Wa'al, Shemai, Lakuwala, Lakawalya. Verse 21. Gam Anya La'a, our Sasaya, our Sayak, La Hawayor, La Hawariyash, Ayash, Mapanyaham, Man, Hagor, Hagoryam, Ashar, Izab, Yahawashai, Wayama. Verse 22, we're going to start at verse 23. We're going to finish out the chapter. Verse 22, Lama'ain, Nasawah, Bam, Ak, Yasha'ala, Hashamor, Hashamoryam, Ma, Ak, Darak, Yahawah, Lalakah, Ma'ab, Bama, Ka'ashar, Shamarwa, Abawat, Abawatma, La'a. That's fathers right there. Verse 23. Wayanak, Yahweh, Hagoyam, Ha'ala, Labalah, Labalafya, Hawar, Hawarayashma, Yarash, Harayashma, that's Yarash, meaning to inherit, all right? Mahar, Wala'ah, Nathanma, Bayad, Yahawashai. All right, that's it on the Hebrew. Start at verse 15, but in the English.
God, it's the book of Judges, chapter 2, verse 15. Whensoever they went out, the hand of the Lord was against them for evil.
It said what?
Whatsoever they went out, the hand of the Lord was against them for evil.
Now remember, we were supposed to get rid of these nations, right? If y'all remember correctly, right, the Lord gave an order, right, to drive out these other nations, right? And what did we not do? We did not drive out these nations. So verse 15 is saying that the Lord is against us for not doing what he said. Like the spirit of following the Lord and to serve the Lord, the essence of it is literally to do what he says to do. That's how you serve the Lord. You serve the Lord by doing exactly what he said to do. Nothing more, nothing less. Like King David was King David. King David was ordered to not count the Israelites, to not number the Israelites. The Lord said not to do it. Because the Lord said not to do it, and he did it anyway, that's a sin against the Lord. Within our law, it says to do what the Lord says. Regardless if it's in the law or not, you do what the Lord says. If the Lord said to pick up that pencil, and you did not pick up that pencil, that's a sin. Because the law states that we are to do what the Lord tells us to do. These priests and prophets of the Lord throughout generation and generation and generation telling us what the Lord wants us to do. When you don't listen to the priests and prophets of the Lord, right, that means you're not listening to the Lord. And because of so, you are sinning against God and you don't even realize it. That's why it's so important to come into the Israelite school of universal practical knowledge to learn how to properly serve the Lord. If you stay in the Christian church, you're not going to know how to serve the Lord. If you stay in that Muslim mosque, you're not going to be serving the Lord at all. If you go into that Catholic mass, you're not going to know how to serve the Lord because they teach you to follow your heart. God loves you no matter what. Do what you feel is right. Do what you think is right. That's not how you serve the Lord. That's called serving yourself. That's called being about yourself. That's called taking matters into your own hands. When the Lord wanted us to take matters in his hands by doing what he said to do. This is how you do it. It's not rocket science. Keep reading for me, y'all.
Come. As the Lord has said.
Go ahead.
And as the Lord has sworn unto them. And they were greatly distressed.
They were what?
Greatly distressed.
Like, this is why we were greatly distressed. Because we were supposed to do what the Lord said to do. But what happened? We did not do what the Lord said to do. The Lord wanted us to be separate. The Lord wanted us to cast out these other nations in the land of Israel. He wanted them completely out. He wanted them wiped out. But what did we do? We kept them as second-class citizens to serve us. Now that sounds great, right? That sounds like that there's nothing wrong with another nation of people serving us. But the Lord did not want that. The Lord wanted them to be casted out and wiped out. He did not want to see them anymore. Go ahead.
Verse 16. Nevertheless,
Go ahead.
the Lord raised up judges.
It said what?
Nevertheless, the Lord raised up judges.
The Lord raised up judges. Does anybody know what it means? Does anybody know what a judge is? Let's get that in the Hebrew. A judge is shapat. All right. I'm gonna tell you. So this is what a judge does. I'm gonna give you the definition of a judge. Shapat in the Hebrew: to judge, govern, vindicate, punish, to act as lawgiver or judge or governor, like of God or man, to rule, govern, judge, to decide controversy of God or man, to execute judgment, discriminating of man, vindicating, condemning, and punishing, at theophanic advent for final judgment, to enter into controversy, plead, have controversy together, to be judge, opponent at law. All right, let's get it. Explanation: to judge, pronounce sentence, implication, to vindicate or punish, by extension to govern, passively to litigate. Like, okay, these are different ways to judge. You can plead as a judge. You can reason as a judge. You can contend, meaning to fight as a judge, to defend or execute or avenge as a judge. Like all of these names, judge meaning to, like shapat, judge in the Hebrew, these are different ways to judge. Judge just doesn't mean you are in charge. Judge means you can reason. Like, for instance, Deborah was a judge and she was raised up as a mother in Israel. She was not an actual judge like a man was a judge, but in her context of being a judge, she was a mother in Israel, meaning she was reasoning. She was reasoning with the children of Israel to do what the Lord said to do. All right. And then a man came and led the nation into that battle, and the brother's name was Barak. All right. We're going to get into that story because it's in the book of Judges. I believe it's in the next 2-3 chapters coming up. We might actually get into it next week if I'm not mistaken. Continue reading now.
God, which delivered them out of the hand of those that spoiled them.
That what?
That spoiled them.
This is what the judges were for, to take them out, right? To take them out of their captivity for the ones that spoiled them, meaning that went to war with them and took us for loot, took us for treasure in war. You understand? Go ahead.
Verse 17. And yet they would not hearken unto their judges.
So we wouldn't even listen to their judges. We wouldn't listen to our judges. Go ahead.
But they went a whoring after other gods.
But we went after other gods. You are considered a whore to the Lord, all right, as a nation of people, if you went to serve other gods like Christianity and Catholicism and Islam and Buddhism, all right? Like, this is how you serve other gods in Egyptology and all this type of stuff, all right? Being a Republican and a Democrat, like, this is all serving other gods. Go ahead.
And bowed themselves unto them.
You bowed yourselves unto them. The Lord said, and bowed themselves unto them, meaning you gave them authority over you. You gave them power over you. You gave the Democratic and the Republican Party in America's ways, you gave them authority over you. So now you do what they tell you to do. Whatever that God said to do, you're going to do it before you do what the Lord said to do. And the Lord is against that. Go ahead.
They turned quickly out of the way which their fathers walked in.
We did this quickly. We turned away from what we were supposed to do. Whatever our fathers taught us, we quickly went from it when we were never supposed to do it. Go ahead.
Obeying the commandments of the Lord.
Like, this is what our fathers taught us to walk in, with the commandments of the Lord. Our fathers never taught us anything else but to follow what the Lord said. Go ahead.
But they did not so.
But they did not do it. Go ahead.
Verse 18. And when the Lord raised them up judges.
When the Lord raised them up judges, go ahead.
Then the Lord was with the judge.
The what?
Was with the judge.
With the what?
Was with the judge.
With all Israel?
Was with the judge.
With all the Israelites?
Was with the judge.
The Lord was with the judge. Like, this is a prime example right here. The Lord raises up a man to be in charge of the nation of people. The Lord has always dealt like this since the time of Judges, Joshua, Moses, Abraham, Adam, you name it. The Lord always raised up a man to be in charge, and the Lord was with that brother right there. And then under that brother, he raised up more strong men under him. And then those brothers under that brother also raised up more strong men under them and raised up a nation and built up a community and built up a city and built up a town and built up a neighborhood and built up the projects. Like this is how the Lord wants us to operate. When you operate outside what the Lord wants you to operate in, it causes chaos, it causes problems, it causes so much confusion everywhere. That's why the black community is it is now. That's why the Latino community is the way it is now. That's why the Native American community is the way that it is now. Go ahead.
Call God and deliver them out of the hand of their enemies.
Like this is how you deliver. This is how we get delivered outside of our enemies. The Lord is going to choose a brother, and the Lord is going to be with that brother. The Lord is going to be with that man, and he's going to lead the people. And he's going to deliver them out of their hands and enemies through the Lord. Go ahead.
All the days of the judge.
All the days of the judge. Go ahead.
For it repented the Lord because of their groanings.
Go ahead.
By reason of them that oppressed them and vexed them.
Meaning, for it repented the Lord because of their groaning by reason of them that oppressed them and vexed them. The ones that are making us groan, the ones that are oppressing us and vexing us is these other nations of people. That's why the Lord was trying to explain to us, and the Lord was explaining to us and ordering us and commanding us to wipe out these other nations out of your land, because they're not going to be for you. They're going to oppress you. They're going to try to conquer you. They are going to destroy you, right? Any chance that they get. But we don't realize that. The Lord understood that, but we did not understand that. Well, guess what? The Lord put that wisdom into the priests and prophets of the Lord now. And we're going to explain to all Israel, and we're going to explain to so-called Blacks, Hispanics, Native Americans how important it is to not be around these other nations and to separate from these other nations of people. Go ahead, Al.
Called God, verse 19. And it came to pass, when the judge was dead,
Go ahead.
that they returned and corrupted themselves more than their fathers.
Now, this is the spirit behind this. Like, this is proof right here that we as a people, we need order. We need structure. We need a foundation, right, for our people to not go against the Lord and to sin against the Lord. Because clearly we cannot do it ourselves. It says it right here. It said it came to pass when the judge was dead that they returned and corrupted themselves more than their fathers. Like, this is why there has to be a man in charge, right, to give orders out and commands to other brothers he puts in charge to put order, to sustain order and structure and a foundation of the Lord within the Black, Hispanic, and Native American community. The Christian church has not done it, and they can't. The Catholic Mass has not do it, and they can't. The Islam Mosque tried to do it, and they can't. The Lord put the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge in charge to build up the Black, Hispanic, and Native American community, and no one else. Go ahead.
And following other gods to serve them.
Like, this is what happened. Go ahead.
And to bow down unto them.
So now these gods have an authority over us. We do what these gods say to do. If the God said it was okay to be a pedophile, now we're going to be a pedophile. If the Lord, if this God said that you can murder everyone in sight because of how you feel is right, and whatever you feel and think is right, and you just go ahead and follow your heart, you're going to murder everybody, you're going to steal from everybody, you're going to have sex with everybody, anyone and anything. Like, this is the spirit of these other gods on this earth. And the Lord was against it, and the Lord never wanted us to do it. And the Lord raised up a man to be in charge, to stop and to order and to command our people and teach our people and prophesy to our people to not do it. Go ahead.
They cease not from their own doing.
Go ahead.
Nor from their stubborn way.
Because there was no judge to make them do it. There was no judge, no leader, no brother, right, with the Lord to teach these people to not do these things. Because if we continue to do these things, there's going to be nothing but what? Groaning and vexing and oppression. That's what the Lord said in verse 18. There's nothing going to be but groaning and groaning and vexing and oppressing. That's what's going to continue to happen if we don't follow the Lord. If we don't have a man in charge of us that the Lord is with, so he can give us orders and command to lead us properly according to what the Lord said. Go ahead.
Verse 20. And the anger of the Lord was hot against
He
Israel.
said the anger of the Lord was hot against Israel. This is a black man's book. The Lord was hot. Meaning what? The Lord was angry. And the anger of the Lord was hot against Israel. Like the Lord was hot. He was heated. Go ahead.
And he said, because that this people have transgressed my covenant, which I commanded their fathers.
Like this is why he's angry. Because we did not follow and do what the Lord said to do. We broke his covenant was to keep his laws, statutes, and commandments. Go ahead.
And have not hearkened unto my voice.
Because the voice of the Lord, like everyone talks about, well, the Lord speaks to me. I hear the Lord's voice. Well, the Lord's voice is in the Bible. The Lord's voice literally tells you to not eat pork, shrimp, and lobster. But what are you doing? You are eating pork, shrimp, and lobster. You are doing absolutely everything that the Lord said not to do, but the Lord talks to you, right? The Lord is dealing with you. The Lord deals with you. The Lord speaks to you, but you're literally doing everything that the Lord said not to do. The Lord is not with you. You're just a goddamn liar. Go ahead.
Verse 21. I will also not henceforth drive out any from which them of the nations which Joshua left when he died.
The Lord also said, I will not henceforth drive out any from before them of the nations which Joshua left when he died. The Lord said, I'm not going to drive them out now. I already ordered you to drive out these other nations, but the Lord said, now for sure, I'm not going to do it. Now, I'm henceforth, from this time forth, I'm not going to drive out these other nations. And here's why. Go ahead, verse 22. Let's explain why the Lord isn't going to do it.
Verse 22. That through them I may prove Israel.
That he may what?
Prove Israel.
That he may what?
Prove Israel.
What does it mean to prove? What does it mean to prove about? Do you remember?
God. Proving means it's standard.
Exactly. To compare to a standard. The Lord is going to keep these nations so there can be a standard put into place. While the heathens are having sex with anyone, anything, and everything, with wood and animals, a man having sex with a man, a woman having sex with a woman, the standard is going to be put in place that we don't do that. That men actually have sex with women. And a brother keeps his wives while a sister does not leave her one husband and get another man. That's going to be the standard. While these other nations are eating pork, shrimp, and lobster and having seafood boils, the standard is not to do what they did. The standard would be God's laws by not eating pork, shrimp, and lobster, by not having seafood boils. That's going to be the standard. That's how the Lord is going to prove us. While we're keeping his laws, because that's the standard, the proof is while everyone else is not keeping it, we are. That's what the Lord is going to do. Go ahead.
Whether they will keep the way of the Lord to walk therein.
Go ahead.
As their fathers did keep it or not.
Or not. Meaning they're going to keep what I said to keep, or they're not. Because there's going to be a standard put in place for all Israel to understand that we are to keep God's laws, statutes, and commandments. Let me explain something real quick. The Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge, we are the standard. We are the standard that every Black, Latino, and Native American is to follow. We know how to serve the Lord. We know how to keep the laws of God. We are serious about it. Just as serious as a goddamn heart attack. Go ahead.
Verse 23. Therefore the Lord left those nations.
So the Lord left those nations, go ahead,
without driving them out hastily.
meaning he did not drive them out quickly. Go ahead.
Neither delivered he them into the hand of Joshua.
It said, neither delivered he them into the hand of Joshua, meaning he wasn't going to give them to the hand of Joshua. He was not going to give them in the hands of the Israelites to drive them out, because we were been supposed to drive them out. This is what the Lord wants us to understand. We're supposed to do what the Lord said to do, and we don't even realize it. All right. With that, we say amadyum, which means to stand. Just us up here. Salah.
La Yashala.
This would be the time that the brothers would come up, all right, and they would salute all the men of the Lord and the brothers, the young men, the troopers, all the men that are in the school, all right, or within the class. They would come up and they would salute the Torah. I Magyum, which means to stand. Now all can stand. Like Wapanyaha Kudam and face the east. The east will be this way. All right. We're going to do the Lord's Prayer in the Hebrew. The Lord's Prayer in the Hebrew. Abanawa. Shabbat Shemayim. Kodah. Hayah. Shamka. Yahweh. Malakuka. Tabaha. Matazaka. Hayah. Aisha. Barataza. Kuwa. Hayah. Shemayim. Nathanawa. Lakam. Yawam. Wasalak Nawa. Kabawak Nawa. Wasalak Nawa. Kabawak Yanawa. Wala'a. Kabiya'a Nawa. Manasayawa. Abo. Shai Nawa. Mayan. Kaya. Yaka. Malakwa. Waha'ala. Watapara. Awalamya. Aman. In the English, our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come. Thy will be done. In earth, as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts, as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever. So be it. Akak, the power in the Hebrew. Yahweh, Ba'ashim Yahusha, Babu Kwasha, Nathana Nawa, Akak, Lavaba'a, Hamachala, Wakal Marawa, Hakak, Latahar, Hamatazariah, Hakak, Lahakuya, Hamakya, Hakak, Al-Bakhawa, Hatama'ala, Lagarashad, Ba'ashim Yahusha, the water Aman, in the English, Yahweh, in the name of Yahusha, please give us the power, the power to heal, all manner of sickness, and all manner of disease, the power to cleanse the leprous, the power to raise the dead, the power against unclean spirits, to cast them out, in the name of Yahusha, thank you, so be it. Psalms 121 in the Hebrew. Asha. Ayanya. Oh, Ma'ayan. Yaba'a. Isaiah. Ma'ay. Yahweh. Aisha. Shemaya. Wa'arataza. Al Yathan. Lamawat. Ragalka. Al Yanawam. Shamoraka. Hana. La'a. Yanawam. Wala'a. Yayashun. Shawamor Yasha'ala. Yahweh. Shamoraka. Yahweh. Tazalka. Al Yamyanka. Yawamam. Hashemat. La'a. Yakaka. Wayarak. Balayala. Yahweh. Shamoraka. Makarai. Yashamor. Afnapaska. Yahweh. Yashamor. Kazafka. Wabawa'aka. Ma'ita. Ma'id. It's like Wa'id. Awalam. Aman. In the English, I will lift up mine eyes into the hills. From which cometh my help? My help cometh from Yahweh. Which made heaven and earth. He will not suffer thy foot to be moved. He that keepeth thee will not slumber. Behold, he that keepeth Israel shall neither slumber nor sleep. Yahweh is thy keeper. Yahweh is thy shade upon thy right hand. hand.
Yahweh is thy shade upon their right hand.
The sun shall not smite thee by day,
The sun shall not smite thee by day,
nor the moon by night.
nor the moon by night.
Yahweh shall preserve thee
Yahweh shall
from
preserve
all evil.
from all evil.
He shall preserve thy soul.
He shall preserve thy soul.
Yahweh shall preserve thy going out
Yahweh shall preserve thy going out
and thy coming in.
and thy coming
From
in.
this time forth,
From this time forth,
even forevermore,
even forevermore,
so be it.
so be it.
Lucky. Psalms 83 in the Hebrew. Alahayim.
Alive.
Al damaya laka.
Al demalak yaka.
Khan. Al the Kharash.
Al the karat.
Wa al the Shakwat.
Wa al da shakwat.
Al.
Al.
Kaya hana.
Kaya ana.
Awayab yaka.
Al yawak buka.
Khan. Yahama yawan.
Yahama yawan.
Wama shanayaka.
Woman say awaka.
Nasha'awa.
Nasha'awa.
Ra'ash.
Ra'ash.
Al aimaka.
Al aimaka.
Ya irayamwa.
Ya ayoyamwa.
It's like ya irayamwa.
Ya ayoramya.
So why?
So why?
Wayeta ya ai tazawa.
When you think your eye to the rock,
Al tazapawanyaka.
out to the yapika,
Kan al tazapawanyaka.
out to the pawanyaka,
Amarwa.
marwa,
Lakawa.
lakawa,
Wanakakidam.
when the cockpit,
Magoya.
gory,
Mala'a.
well the eye,
Yazakar.
zazaka,
It's like ya zakar.
yazaka,
Sham yasha Allah.
shum yasha,
Aiwa.
awa,
Kaya.
kaya,
Na wa ai tazawa.
na your eye to the rock,
La.
la,
Yahadwa.
lakar,
Aldaka.
ali,
Barya.
bayuwa,
Yakarakwa.
yakarakwa,
Ahoya.
ahoy,
Adawam.
out of war,
Wajashama aliyam.
when must you get eye,
Mawa'aba.
mawa'aba,
Wahagoya.
well, gory,
Gabor.
the boy,
Imawad.
when you are
Wa'imalak.
when Allah,
Like it. Palashah.
pull a shot,
Am Yashabya.
I'm your shop,
Has a war.
as a war,
Gam Ashawar.
Gum Asha,
Nalawa.
Nella Wai,
Imam.
Amam,
Hayawa.
Hayu,
Sabawai.
Zabawa,
Labanya Lawat.
Labunya Lawa,
Salah.
Salah,
Aisha Lahab.
Ashallah,
Kamadyan.
Kaman,
Kasayah Saba'a.
Kasaya Samira,
Kayabyan.
Kayab,
Banakal.
Banakar,
Koyashwan.
Koyashwa,
Shayatamwa.
Shayathoya,
Koyashwan.
Koyash,
Nashamadwa.
Nashawak,
Ba'ayan Da'ara.
Baya I'm Imdara,
Hayawa.
Hayu,
The man.
the
The
Mar,
Adama.
the Dama,
Shayatamwa.
the Shayathama,
Narayamawa.
Naya Am, Yawa,
Ka'irab.
Kaya,
Wakaza'aba.
Nakaza,
Wakazabak.
Wakazaba,
Wakazazalmanai.
Wakazazamana,
How?
Ka,
Nasajakamwa.
Nesaka, Yakamwa,
Ashur.
Ashur,
Alahayam.
Alahai,
Alahaya.
Alahaya,
Shayatamwa.
Shayathama,
Kagalgala.
Kagalia,
Kakwash.
Kakwash,
Lapanya Raka.
Lapanya Waka,
Ka'ash.
Kaash,
Saba Ira ya Ira.
the Yaaya Debraya,
Wakalahaba.
Waka Yaada,
Salahat.
the Yaa,
Hayam.
Hard,
Khan.
Ka,
Saba Datma.
the Yadakma,
Basa Iraka.
Basa Arika,
Waba Sawapaka.
was this a Kapakwa,
Saba Halam.
the Bahalam,
Mala'a.
Mala,
Hanyam.
Panya,
Kwalahan.
Kwala,
Like it. Kwalawan.
Kwalawan,
Wayabakwashwa.
Wayabakwashwa,
Shamka.
Shabka,
Yahawa.
Yao,
Yabashwa.
Yabashwa,
Wayabahalwa.
Wayabahawa,
Ayai.
Ayai,
Wayakhapurwa.
Wayakapor,
Wayabadwa.
Wayabad,
Wayadaiwa.
Wayadiaya,
Kaya.
Kaya,
Asa.
Asa,
Shamka.
Shamka,
Yahawa.
Yahawa,
Labadka.
Nabarka,
Al Yawan.
How you want,
Al. Al.
Ka,
Arataza.
Arakaza,
Aman.
Amor,
In the English. Keep not thy silence, O Yahweh.
keep not thy silence, O
Hold
Yahweh,
not thy peace.
hold not thy
And
peace,
be not still, O Yahweh.
and be not thy still, O Yahweh,
Below.
below,
Thine enemies make a tumult.
their enemies make a
And
tumult,
they that hate thee
and they that hate thee
have lifted up their head.
have lifted up their head,
They have taken crafty counsel against thy people.
they have taken crafty counsel against thy
And
people,
consulted against thy hidden one.
and consulted against thy
They
people.
have said,
They have said,
Come,
come,
and let us cut them off from being a nation.
and let them cut them off from being
That the
in
name of
the
Israel
name of Israel,
may be no more remembrance.
maybe no more
For
remember,
they have consulted together with one consent.
for they have consulted together with one consent,
They are confederate against
they
thee.
are confederate
The
against
tabernacles of
the
Edom
tabernacles of Edom,
and the Ishmaelites
and
of
Ishmael,
Moab
and Moab,
and the
and
Hagari,
Hagri,
Gabal,
Gabal,
and Ammon,
and Ammon,
and Amalek,
and Amalek,
the
the
Philistines,
Philistines,
with the inhabitants of Tyre.
with the inhabitants of Tyre.
Asher also is joined with them.
Asher also is drawn
They
there.
have opened the children of
They
Lot.
have opened the children of
Salah.
Salah.
Do unto them,
Do it to them.
as unto the
As
Midianites,
to Midianites.
as to Sisera,
As unto Sarah.
as to Jabin,
As to Jabin.
at the brook of Kasai, which
which
perished at Endor.
perished in
They became as dung for the earth.
They became as dung for the earth.
Make their nobles like Oran,
Make their nobles like a
and
red,
like Zair,
and like Zed,
Yea,
and yea,
all their princes,
all the princes,
as Abba,
and Sabbath,
and as Zamuna,
and Samuna,
who said, let us take to
let
ourselves
us take to
the
ourselves
house of Yahweh in possession.
the houses of Yahweh present.
All my power,
All my power.
make them like a wheel,
Make them like a
as
wheel,
a stubble before the wind,
as the stubble before that wind,
as the fire burneth for wood,
as the fire burns the
and as
wood,
the flame set the mountains on
as
fire.
the flame set the mountains on
So
fire.
persecute them with thy tempest,
So persecute them with thy
and
tempest,
make them afraid with thy sword.
and make them afraid with thy
Fill
sword.
their faces with shame,
Fill their faces with
that
shame,
they may seek thy name.
that they may seek that
Oh
name.
Yahweh,
Oh, Yahweh.
let them be
Let
confounded
them be confirmed
and troubled forever,
and controlled forever,
like a trouble forever.
and troubled forever.
Yea,
Yea,
let them be put to shame
let them be put to
and
shame
perish,
and perish,
that men may know
that men may
that
know
thou,
that thou,
whose name alone
whose name
is
alone
Yahweh,
is Yahweh,
art the Most High,
art the Most
over
High
all the earth.
over all the earth.
So be it.
So be it.
The blessings in the Hebrew. Rakatha Yahweh,
Barakatah Yahweh,
wa Yahweh Shai,
wa Yahweh Shah,
wa Yaka'ala,
woman Yaka'ala,
wa Alahayim,
wa Alahai,
Matazab Ya'a,
Matazah Yah,
Alawat Yahana,
Alawat Yahan,
Ha Alawat Yam,
Ha Alawat Yah,
Ha Saranya,
Ha Saran,
Ha Kutazayanya,
Ha Kawazis Yom Yah,
Ha Khayayo,
Ha Kuyayah,
wa Ha Agwafyan,
wa Ya Akwat
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
by Shem Yahweh Shai,
Hashem Yahweh Shah,
Luwada Aman.
Luwada
In
Aman.
the English, bless you Yahweh,
Bless you, Yahweh,
and Yahweh Shai,
and Yahweh Shah,
and Mike,
and Mike,
and the
and
angels,
angels,
commanding,
and commanding,
General Yahana,
General Yahan,
the general,
the general,
the captain,
the captain,
the officer,
the officer,
the trooper,
the troopers,
and the sister,
and the sister,
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
In the name of Yahweh
In
Shai,
the name of Yahweh Shah,
thank you,
thank you,
so be it.
so be
The
it.
prayer of the curses. Blessed are you, Yahweh,
Blessed are you, Yahweh,
King of heaven and earth,
King of heaven and
and
earth,
all things living.
and all things
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
In the name of Yahweh
In the
Shai,
name of Yahweh Shah,
listen to us now,
listen to us now,
right now,
right now,
and evils and curses,
and evils and
and
curses,
punishment,
and
destruction,
punishment and
to the
destruction
heathen,
to the heathen
that speak against
that
us,
speak against
thy
us,
prophets,
thy
the
prophets, the
teachers,
teachers,
the Israelites,
the
the teachers,
the
the
teachers,
princes,
the princes,
the priests,
the priests,
the Israelite brothers,
the Israelite
and the
brothers,
school,
and the
and
school,
evils and
and
curses,
evils and
and
curses,
punishment,
and
destruction,
punishment and
to the
destruction
heathen,
to the heathen,
and shake loose the
and
treasure
shake loose the
of the
treasure
rich of Israel,
of the rich of
that
Israel,
refuse to give to the
that
school,
refuse to get into school,
force the riches,
force their riches
to enter thy
to
sanctuary,
enter thy
and
sanctuary,
evils and
to
curses,
evils and curses,
and punishment, destruction,
and punishment and
to
destruction
the Edomites,
to the Edomites,
and the nations,
and the nation,
and the drug
and the
dealers,
drug
the
dealers,
court
and
system,
the court
the
system,
prison
the
system,
prison system,
Planned Parenthood,
Planned Parenthood,
Amalek synagogues and armies,
Amalek synagogues, the
the
army,
Roman Catholic Church,
the Roman Catholic Church,
the Ku Klux Klan,
the Ku Klux
the
Klan,
lesbian
the
movement,
lesbian movement,
spies, workers of witchcraft,
workers of
NASA
witchcraft,
space program,
NASA space program,
Army,
the Army,
Navy,
the Navy,
Air Force,
the Air Force,
Marines,
the Marines,
Wall Street,
Wall Street,
open up the internet
open up the internet
and the airwaves,
and the
the
airwaves,
cable access
the
channels,
cable access
and the
channel,
radio
and the
channel.
radio channel.
Convict the spirit
Convict the
of
spirit
any of thy people
of any of our people
that seek to stop us,
that seek to stop
and
us
bring swift
and
destruction
bring swift
to
destruction
all the heathen
to all the heathen
that stand in the way,
that stand in the
and
way
try to stop us
of trying to stop
from
us
broadcasting your
from
word
broadcasting the
throughout the
word
planet Earth.
throughout the planet Earth.
Let loose all the
Let
plagues.
loose all the
Let
plagues.
loose all the
Let
plagues.
loose all the plagues.
Let loose all the
Let
plagues.
loose all the plagues.
Cause them to go to and fro.
Cause them to go to and
Through the
fro
earth.
through the
And
earth
consume them.
and consume
The
them.
plague.
Let the
Take
plague
the house of the thief
shake the house of the thief
and the murderer
and the murderer
and Yahweh Shai,
and let the house
Michael and Gabriel,
Michael and
come
Gabriel
down with the flying
come down
saucers
with the flying
and
sword
punish all the heathen
and punish all the
that
heathen
come up against
that
us
come against us
as we speak thy word.
as we speak that word.
Cause it to be known
Cause it to be
by
known
all,
by
and
all
the angels that have done it.
that is the angels that done it.
Cause it to be spread
Cause it to be
through the
spread
media
through the media
throughout the whole world.
throughout the whole
Cause
world.
them
Cause
to
them
shake at thy coming.
to shake at
In
thy
the name of
coming.
Yahweh Shai,
In the name of Yahweh
thank
Shah,
you always.
thank you always.
So be it.
So be it.
Bless Israel in the Hebrew. Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Hashem Yahweh Shai.
Hashem Yahweh Shah.
Barak Lanawa.
Barak Renah.
Wa Yasha'ala.
Wayasha.
Waha Bayak Saparia.
Waha Yaha Sapari.
Like Waha Bayak Saparia.
Waha Bayah Sapari.
Barak.
Barak.
Kapah.
Kapah.
Magun.
Magun. Hagun.
Hashem Yahweh Shai.
Hashem Yahweh Shah.
Shabbat Aman.
Tawara Amon.
In the English, just me, Yahweh, in the name of Yahweh Shai. Bless us and Israel and the school. Bless, heal, shield, protect our loved ones. In the name of Yahweh Shai. All right. Thank you. So be it. Sar, which means to turn. Yeshabiam for the sisters. The sisters can now be seated. Men of Israel, we're going to give a courteous salute to the brothers. Men of Israel, Madam Shabbat, Amadi, Barak,
Yahweh Shem Yahshua Rakathon.
Yana Matah, Sarla Agwafia, turn and face the sisters. Ahmadiyya, which means y'all sisters can now stand. All right, men of Israel, we're going to give a courteous salute to the sisters. All right, men of Israel, Madam Shabbat, Ahmadiyya, Barak, Yahweh Shema Lamba Shem Yahshua, Yana Matah. With that, class dismissed.